If you enjoy those musicals of the 50s and 60s, the ones where they spontaneously break out into song and dance for no reason. If you feel so happy watching them and you want to break into song and dance with them, well, that is exactly what La La Land provides. Sorry about that little musical intro there. I felt like, considering that I'm reviewing La La Land today, I should do a little bit of a musical skit, but please don't unsubscribe yet. I know I didn't sing a lick in tune, and that song didn't have a rhythm whatsoever, so I do apologise. I will never do that again. So, welcome to the movie addiction... Sorry, I'm doing it again. Anyway, enjoy as I review La La Land. 3, 2, 1, action. La La Land stars Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone and is directed by Damian Chazelle, who also directed one of my favourite movies, Whiplash, and that movie gave J.K.Simmons his Best Supporting Actor Oscar and also put Miles Teller in the public eye. So Whiplash did a lot of good for a lot of people, and that was a great film. And La La Land also explores Damian Chazelle's apparent love for jazz. I mean, if this guy's putting so much jazz into his movies and thinks jazz is alright, I think that would be a little bit weird. So clearly Damian Chazelle is quite passionate about the musical genre of jazz, and that is very, very much incorporated into the plot and overall soundtrack of this movie. La La Land is a beautiful piece of cinema. It is probably, I know we're very, very early on in 2017 still, but this has still warranted to be one of my favourite movies of this year, hands down. Sebastian Wilder, played by Ryan Gosling, and Mia Dolan, played by Emma Stone, are two people who are seriously struggling in the lines of work that they want to be in. They're trying to achieve their dreams. Sebastian wants to be a professional jazz pianist, and Mia wants to be an actress. And these two meet out of sheer coincidence, and they suddenly find a connection, and a romance begins to blossom out of them and their failings, them constantly being rejected by auditions and talent scouts, and all sorts of things like that. And for someone like me who aspires to be an actor, I can really relate to these characters. Now, it's really hard to relate to a character in a musical because usually their reality is immediately heightened, and there's never really been an actual realistic musical because it's a musical. It's full of people who are just singing all the time. I think the closest thing to a realistic musical is either Pitch Perfect or Sing Street, and those two films aren't exactly people singing out of nowhere. You know, those are actually people singing through instruments, and they actually mean to sing. And, you know, this is an actual fully blown musical. People are just singing through their emotions, and that is the beauty of musicals, really. Not a lot of people think I like musicals, but I really did love this film because I related to it. Now, there are so many things that I love about this film that I really can't put into words. This film made me feel on an emotional level, and when a film can do that, that is something that immediately goes in my books as one of my favourite films, because that is what a film can do, and that is what is so amazing, that film is still being made. That's the reason why it's still being made, is because it makes people feel, it makes them feel emotions if they care about a character that isn't even real, that's being acted in front of a green screen. And this is a perfect example of why I love cinema, because one part of the film is to do with Sebastian's character and how he's trying to get somewhere in his jazz piano playing, and some parts of it are all jazz and all the saxophones and trumpets and stuff like that, and it's all that genre of music. And then on the other hand, it's Mia's dream as well to be an actress, and it definitely delves you into that harsh world of Hollywood and how that is a dog-eat-dog world, and it's all just very sort of 50s Hollywood cliche. And that is perfectly woven throughout the film. You get to see these two people and their dreams, the worlds that they are separately living in, and you get to see them collide, and that is just truly beautiful in my eyes. Gosling and Stone have acted together in other films like Crazy Stupid Love and Gangster Squad, and I think going into La La Land, that off-screen friendship definitely helped with their romance and their relationship going into this film, because when you watch a chemistry on screen, you want to see it work. You want to see how much these people love each other and how much these characters deeply care about each other. And if you don't see that relationship on screen, if you don't see that chemistry on screen, then you just stop caring about it. And that's exactly what I had on this film. I cared about these characters so much, and I wanted to see them succeed in their aspirations. I wanted to see them do well. But like I said before, these two people have different worlds, and with the heartbreaking ending at the end, I don't want to give anything away, but these people live in separate worlds, and that becomes incredibly apparent in the climax of this film. Everything else about this film is utterly astonishing. Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, they were just the cherry on top, really. Everything else about this film is brilliant. Chazelle has written and directed such a fantastic masterpiece. I barely call a film a masterpiece because that's quite a broad statement, but my God, that is how I describe this film. It is a true masterpiece, because everything from the music to the lyrics to the choreography, it will make your heart melt, it will make it pound, it will make it break, and it is just so beautiful to see. The sets, it makes you actually feel like you're watching an old 50s, 60s musical. It is based in the modern day, but its soul, its very essence in this movie is basically musicals that you would have seen years ago, like Grease or West Side Story. I love that movies like this are being made again, old-fashioned type of movies, and I absolutely adore Damian Chazelle for this. 2016 provided us with a hell of a lot of shite, but in terms of film, it did brilliantly. Westerns are being made again. If musicals like that keep being made again, I wouldn't be surprised if a silent film starts being made again. Then again, they did with The Artist, but everyone just seems to have forgotten about The Artist. This film, it feels still new. It feels... It has that perfect balance between a film that all ages can watch. This isn't just something that your mother or your grandmother is just going to go and see. This is something that I see young people my age actually going to see. People as young as 16 are going to go and see this movie. And that is what is so brilliant about this, is that it feels new but classic at the same time. It is just so incredible that this movie is doing that it is bringing in people of all demographics to come and watch this, because I'll be honest, I've not really been into musicals all that much. The only musicals that I actually like are Les Mis and Sweeney Todd. Those are the only musicals that I kind of like. I've never really liked musicals that are all gung-ho and campy and really, you know, sort of cliched, but this movie, it feels new. It feels like it's doing something different. It has Ryan Gosling's comedy, it has just the chemistry, like I've said, between him and Emma Stone, and it's just all just beautiful, this entire film. I think I've said enough about La La Land, so I'll conclude the review now. I seriously struggled to find a fault with this film. I pretty much loved it from beginning to end. There were a few moments in this film where I was looking at my watch, so I think the pacing was slow in a few scenes, but other than that, I absolutely found this film to be a piece of cinematic gold. This is a masterpiece, and I would seriously suggest you go and see this film. If you can't get a group of your friends to go and see it on your own. This film is too good to pass up just because somebody else can't make it. Go and see it. That is an order, ladies and gentlemen. I give this film a 10 out of 10, no shame whatsoever. I will see you guys next time, where I will be reviewing Martin Scorsese's Silence. So then guys, see you then. And